2017 Northwest Athletic Conference Basketball Championship Tournament. Hi everyone, I'm Keith Ewing along with my broadcast partner Steve Williams. Welcome to STSPN's live broadcast of NWAC Championship Basketball. 28 games over the last 2 weeks. 28 teams sent packing, 2 games left to play. The championship of the women's final is straight away. We've got the Spokane Sasquatch and the Walla Warriors. It's been a long season, a lot of hard work put in by both players and coaches. The top 2 teams in the Northwest are here for the final showdown. This is the moment where it all pays off. Who's going to cut down the nets and host the trophy? It is the Northwest College sports at its best. Welcome in again the Walla Warriors with a record of 24-4, and the Spokane Sasquatch with a record of 26-4. Both teams have been to the championship 5 times over the course of their history. Both teams have walked away with 2 championships. The Walla Warriors, both champions in 2001 and 2010. The Spokane Sasquatch champions back at Spokane Falls in 1983 and 84. As we dim the lights, what a championship, what a time. It's been a lot of fun the entire 2 weeks coming up to this point. This is where it matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got 2 teams that, like you mentioned, only 4 losses on the entire season each. Records are very impressive. They finished in the same conference with the same record. So really, one's a 1 seed and one's a 2, but it was a tie. I mean, and they split during the year. So this is the rubber match. This is the game that not only does it give you bragging rights with a championship, but it also proves that, hey, we beat you 2 out of 3, and we won our conference as well. So much on the line here right now. And like you mentioned, Keith, Walla hasn't won a championship in 7 years. Spokane has to go back to the Spokane Falls days back in '84. Somebody's going to be very excited and get to hoist a banner tonight. And
let's talk a little bit about the 2 teams and their starting lineups. We're going to start with the national anthem, and we'll take a quick timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to sing the national anthem, please welcome Nicole Eskridge.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag, it was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
High atop Wall Price Fitness Center.
Left the corner. School, Linn Junior LTC.
A January 4th outing, Spokane winning the first of the two battles, 63-53, and then Walla Walla back on February 1st, winning 63-52. Both 10-plus point victories on either side of the ball. What was the difference? What makes the difference in these two teams facing one another?
Well, very simple, and you see this time and time again in basketball. It was the rebounding game. First game, Spokane out-rebounding Walla Walla 45-31. Consequently, they win by 10. Walla Walla on their home floor on February 1st, winning the rebounding battle 43-37. You get the boards, you get the victory. Today, you get the boards, you probably get the championship.
And also looking down that stat sheet, same one that we're looking between us here, free throws also making a difference. You get to the free throw line, especially in a championship ball game, you get more opportunities. You're gonna have a better chance at putting yourself in the position to cut down the nets.
Well, absolutely. And I just think what's fun about this game is the fact that these two teams do come from the same conference, same division. We've seen this time and time again at this sort of a level where you get two teams where you think you might know what they look like or how they're comparable to one another, but really you don't. And from time to time you get them into a gym and all of a sudden one team runs away with it by a 20 or 30-point margin. These two know each other very well. They're both very confident. They've both won a game against the other one this year. So I just think there's so many exciting storylines, not only from the games earlier this year, but just in terms of them being in the same conference. And I think we're in for a heck of a ball game today.
No doubt about it. Let's tell you a little bit about how they got here. Walla Walla on a 10-game winning streak. They started the season or the tournament here on a week ago Saturday. 73-63 winners over Clackamas, and then beat Lower Columbia 63-57. Yesterday, having to outlast Skagit Valley, a game they led by 20-plus points in the third quarter. Skagit Valley came roaring back, and just escaping with the W were the Warriors 67-63. That put them in the championship game. And on the other side, the Spokane Sasquatch, winners of 9 of their last 10, including the 3 here that got them to the championship game. 70-57 winners over Linn-Benton on the first game. 76-62 winners over the Bulldogs of Bellevue a week ago Sunday. And then 63-58 the game against Umpqua, a game many people thought was an upset, with Umpqua with their high-flying offense with 80-plus points a game held very low. Their first game of the season for the Umpqua team, under 60 points. So Spokane really knows how to dictate pace, and we'll see if that is the case here today. The referees, Sean Martin, Mike Eichert, Rusty Vineyard will be the officials. The replay official is Lee Mullen. And we'll get started our starting lineups today for the visiting Walla Walla Warrior. The lineups look a little bit like this. Sierra Jo McEwen from Touchy, Washington, a 5'9 freshman. She's a specimen, 19.8 points a game. The second leading scorer in the tournament with a 24.7 points average. J.C. Jensen, a 5'5 sophomore out of Firth, Idaho, will get the started guard. Jade Skidmore, an outstanding all-around player, 12.1 points a game, 9.2 rebounds a game, and 4.0 assists a game, good enough for 4th in the NWAC. She's from West Jefferson High School in Tipton, Idaho. And then you've got Emily Hancock, a 6'1 sophomore out of Highland High School in Pocatello, Idaho, and Kate Friends, a 5'10 sophomore out of Walla Walla High School, just down the street from Walla Walla Community College. Bobby Hazeltine in her 18th season with those 2 championships under her belt at the helm. And we talk about the Spokane Sasquatch with their 26-4 overall record. They will start Callie Moskript, a 5'7 sophomore out of Lewiston, Idaho, Lewiston High School, averaging 6.8 points a game. Bree King, we'll talk about her a lot. 5'4 sophomore out of North Central High School in Spokane, Washington, also your current leader for single game scoring in the tournament with 46 2 games ago. Kirsten Russell, a 5'9 sophomore out of Meade High School in Spokane, Washington. Caitlin Ward, a 6' sophomore, Priest River Lamana in Priest River, Idaho. And Janessa Heine, a 5'11 sophomore. She's from Flathead High School in Kalispell, Montana, just north of the lake. And there are your starters for Bruce Johnson in his 32nd year. And we are set to tip off here at Everett Community College. Championship basketball on the way. Spokane in the dark black jerseys and winning the tip, the Spokane Sasquatch. And they will enter the ball right down into Heine, Jessica Heine. And here is Bree King. She's the scorer. The long kick out to Moscript. She'll dribble drive. Now the stop out the right-hand side. They'll fill the lane, spread the court. Back to Bree King. Man-to-man pressure being employed. The stop and pop. And not bad. 15-footer from the left baseline. And Bree King starting off.
And you just barely touched on it a moment ago. We should point out that 46 points she had against Bellevue, that's a tournament record, not just for this week or this last couple weeks. She's the one you got to really keep an eye on.
Man-to-man pressure by Spokane also. So these two teams do mix it up, both offensively and defensively. Zone and man-to-man. Long three on the way. Buries it. There is the danger of Sierra Jo McEwen. She is dangerous from long range. 33%, good enough for 8th in the league in the regular season.
Huge that she was able to answer with that King basket, too. Just getting off early, that's huge for them.
King makes it a short three-point jump shot. No good, off the rim. 1 point, Walla Walla lead. And the stop and the pop, no good. McEwen wasting no time on both ends. Offensive rebound. Here's Skidmore. Straight away, 8-footer, no. Rebounding Sasquatch coming the other way. Slowly a yo-yo across the timeline. Goes the dribble into the right-hand side. Top of the key to Ward. King with it. First in the tournament in scoring. You got your two leading scorers on the court in the tournament. If you erase the one game by Bobby Wessendorf from Tacoma. There's the shot.
Bree King from 17 feet out.
And King makes it a 4-3 Spokane lead.
You just mentioned the two leading scorers on the floor. Guess what? Both of those two scores, all 7 points accounted for so far.
Back to man-to-man pressure. Both teams doing a good job of flying around the court pretty much all tournament long on defense. Spokane very good at just setting pace. Walla Walla at times can be a little frazzled, what we've seen over the last couple of games, sometimes relying on the pace of the opposing team. They seem to fall into ruts at times, but we'll see how well they do against the pace of Spokane.
Well, and the fact that they almost blew a 20-point lead last night, you've got to think that that's shaken them a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out as this game goes along. Is it a confidence factor? Maybe they're a little tired even at this point.
Yeah, Skagit Valley doing a great job in the full court pressure. Once they got into full court pressure, Walla Walla had a bit of trouble. We'll see what kind of homework the Sasquatch have done if they watched any film between last night and tonight or stuck around and actually watched the game. We've got our first foul of the afternoon. That foul will go against Jade Skidmore, her first personal foul, first team foul on Walla Walla. And the entry pass will go into Ward. King with it, will spin in. Great job in defense by J.C. Jensen. That's why she's in the ball game, a great defender. Does not score a lot, but an outstanding job in defense. And there with the steal, long lead pass to Skidmore. Has a double team, long pass, perhaps needed an extra dribble. Here comes King, 1-on-3 break. She'll take it herself, the runner off back iron. That's a tough one, 1-on-3. And the long McEwen J off the mark. Sasquatch will bring it back up, not afraid to push. Now you've got the 2-on-1, long kick. Swanwick, excuse me, that's out of bounds.
Great job by Swanwick, too, to keep her head up. She recognized the fact that she had her teammate, Summers Ward, cutting towards the basket, found her, didn't get the bucket, but did draw the foul, and now they get a chance for two.
Kaylin Ward averaging 10.9 points a game, 7.7 rebounds a contest, about her average in the tournament. She's a 70% free throw shooter and buries the first one. 5-3 Spokane in the championship of the 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Tournament. We're glad you're with us. Ward on the board with two free ones. And the lead doubled 6-3. And here's that full court pressure that we talked about that Walla Walla seemed to have some trouble with yesterday. And this time bring it up with out too much problem. As Skidmore looks in. The long pass back to Skidmore, the dribble drive. No, that is Ferenz. Ferenz, a very good all-around player. About 4 rebounds and 8 points a game.
It's interesting to note, too, when you mentioned that Walla had so much trouble with that press yesterday, I was curious as to whether or not they were going to start the game off that way, or the fact that they kind of got a feel for what was going on for 3 minutes before employing it. Interesting tactic. We'll see if they stick with it.
Hancock can't get the bucket to fall. That foul, by the way, was on Caitlin Ward out of bounds. Her first, and the first on to the Sasquatch. Here's King, wrap around a double team. Now they'll pass out left-hand side. Moskrip, they'll find the big Janessa Heine underneath, and the sophomore can't find it from easy distance. And quickly up court. Walla wanting the foul call on the King poke. They won't get it. Still 6-3 with 5 and change remaining. Long NBA range 3 from Kate Ferenz falls well off the mark, left-hand side.
Not the first NBA 3 we've seen taken by Walla. Either McCowan tried one earlier as well.
Well, and King is certainly capable also. Stop and pop. That one nothing but atmosphere. A long save. They'll get it back in to Swanek. And here's King once again. Nothing but twine for Bree King. She's got all but 2.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Nice job by King. Threw up the air ball a moment ago, gets it right back. Shoot. She went out and drained a 3.
7 points already for King. Now the dribble drive left-hand side and blocked away by King. Jensen looked like she had the easy lane. Now the runner and a beauty by McEwen. She's got 5.
It's the McEwen versus King game apparently so far. 7-5 between the two of them, 9-5 on the scoreboard. And again, these two players averaging 53 points per game combined between the two of them during the tournament. They might even try to exceed that tonight.
Which is interesting, Steve, as you watch the King 3 again. Long rebound will go back to Walla and a collision. The games yesterday, we thought the same thing. It was going to be one leading scorer versus another leading scorer. History over the tournament has told us that would be the case. It wasn't. A lot of teams, it was a lot of role players all afternoon yesterday.
And now you get the championship game, and this is where champions come out and show their best, right?
We will take a break. You are watching NWAC Championship Ball Game, the final. Here at Everett Community College, Spokane 9, Walla 5. You're watching STSPN and the NWAC Sports Network.
Knows the call. It has many meanings, but when it's spoken, the message is clear. Heard, understood, acknowledged. Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Fans, Olympic College, a great place to hit the field and the books, earn your associate's degree, and then transfer to a university or slide into home and earn your bachelor's degree without even leaving Kitsap County. Learn more at olympiccollege.info/athletics. The pass down low off the right-hand block. Emily Hancock up and in for her first 2 points, and the first 2 points that were not from Sierra Jo McEwen.
Sierra Jo McEwen, though, might as well get credit for that. That was a gorgeous one-handed pass right down low, just darted it in there, and easy bucket for Hancock.
McEwen averaging 2 points, or excuse me, 2 assists here in the tournament. Having that and a foul call on the other end, and that will be Spokane free throws. Waiting who the foul call was on. And they have yet to put it up on the scoreboard, so we'll talk about Janessa Heine and her first trip to the free throw line, a 69% free throw shooter. Makes good on number 1.
There are pros and cons to being up as high as we are. We have a great viewpoint. I mean, it's perfect almost, but we're a little bit further away from the PA sound system, and we don't always get the fouls right away. That's the one drawback.
They've been really good about putting them up on the big board here at Everett Community College. A nice, very modern facility, and there is some hounding defense by McEwen on Skidmore. Now that is Swanwick on Skidmore. And now we'll dump the ball underneath. Rattling it out, 8 seconds to shoot, finally get it off. It'll be Heine on the rebound for the Sasquatch. Moscript will bring it up, crossing the timeline and find Swanwick, her point guard. Right hand dribble across the arc. A long kick, thought about it, and off the mark is the shot by Guillory. Guillory, a 5'9" sophomore for Lewis and Clark High School in Spokane, into the ball game for the first time. And on the other end, the dribble drive by McEwen will count on the left-hand side, and will go to the free throw line for a chance at 3.
Yeah, great play by McEwen. Kept her body, kept her composure, didn't lose her balance. Easy bucket for her. Now she gets to try to make a 3-point play out of it.
Callie Moscript on the foul will be the 3rd team foul on Spokane. McEwen, an 81% free throw shooter, good for 4th in the league regular season. And the 3-point play is indeed intact. And Spokane clinging to a 1-point lead after a bit of a rally by Walla Walla.
Yeah, 7-2 run right now. They were down by 6 just a few moments ago.
2 minutes and 55 seconds to go. We're in the first quarter here. The championship ball game of the NWAC 2017 tournament. 2 outstanding teams from the Eastern Division. The long kick, it's Webster. She can bury it. Also a very good 3-point shooter. And the last time these guys met were actually back on January 4th. Webster came in and I believe had double digits in both rebounding and points. So definitely a capable shooter, capable scorer, good contributor.
And Swanwick, again, give her a lot of credit. Second beautiful pass we've seen her throw tonight.
Here's McEwen. Danger from long. That's the second triple from Sierra Joe, and she is lighting it up. All but 2 points of the 13 for Walla Walla coming from the freshman. Swanwick, top of the key, between the circles is Moscript. She will kick it out long. 2 now. A dribble drive in, made it about an 18-footer. Swanwick on the board.
That's actually Webster on that play.
Oh, the Webster, excuse me.
Yeah. Webster
5 points.
Getting a 3 one time down the floor, then a 2. Nice job.
Another long 3 on front iron. That one about 2 steps beyond the men's arc.
You think McEwen's feeling it tonight? You think she wants to score a few points?
Now she'll have to really dial in if she's going to beat Bree King for that tournament record, but certainly on pace so far. We'll swing it out to Swanwick. Here's King. The long pass, a little bouncer to Heine, no good. Drew a double team, outstanding help defense from Walla Walla.
Yeah, we've seen that on both teams right so far in the paint. I mean, when Spokane gets it, they get triple teamed. Walla Walla's doing the double team, and it's working to perfection.
McEwen floats in. Looked at like she was going to pull up for about an 8-footer and then just floats it in for another deuce. And we're going to run out of room in our first quarter scoreboard for Sierra Joe.
Funny, I was just thinking the exact same thing.
16-15, Walla Walla down 1, looking for a stop here. They won't get it because Callie Moscript drops in the 3. And the field goal percentage is ratcheting up. Both these two teams shooting well so far through 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Swanwick, I sound like a broken record, but she drew the defense in, got her teammate open, beautiful pass, and bucket.
Skidmore picked up her dribble, finds the bounce pass on the backside. Great job by Cheyenne James to get open on the left-hand block. She's fouled and will head to the stripe. That foul against Heine, her first personal. And the 4th team foul on Spokane. Into the bonus at the next juncture. 22 seconds probably won't get there. James, a 57% free throw shooter on the regular season. A sophomore, 6 foot, out of McKay, Idaho. Averaging 7.3 and 3.3 as far as points and rebounds respectively in the tournament.
thing that I noticed when I was looking through the box scores of the two matchups earlier this year for these two teams, the winning team in each game had one monster first half quarter. For Spokane, it was a 23-12 lead after one. They ended up riding that to the victory. When it was Walla, they had a 19-6 run on Spokane in the second quarter. First quarter, that hasn't been the case here in this game. It's 19-17, so we'll see what the second quarter is going to bring.
Bree King says, I'm going to take you one-on-one down Broadway. Lost the ball for a second and up with the right hand. Makes it good. The long shot, will it count? It would have had it gone, and that is the end of one quarter. Spokane with a 4-point lead, 21-17. You're watching the 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Championship on STSPN.com and NWAC Sports Network.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment,
McEwen for 13,
when we first saw
right?
the damage, these people really needed us.
Yep.
And I was going to make a
13
difference right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all four corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.
And welcome back to the Walt Price Fitness Center. Spokane with the 21-17 lead going into the second quarter. It's time for Everett Community College Trivia Time. Why do 19,000 students choose Everett Community College every year? The answer? At Everett Community College, faculty know your name and they care about your future. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. Second quarter action is underway. Back to you, Keith.
Thank you. Pretty decent shooting out of Spokane. 47% on 7 of 15 from the field. And for Walla, 6 of 18, 33%. As the left-hand runner falls off the mark. No good. Into the ball game for the first time is Mackenzie Reddish, the sophomore, 5'6", out of Rosalia High School. And we talk about free throws, how important they are in championship ball games, long three. Both teams perfect, 4 for 4 from the stripe for Spokane. Walla 2 for 2.
3 points, you got to make those, right? Especially in the big games.
And an absolutely big game. At 21-17. We're just getting started in the second quarter. Here's McEwen, 9 to shoot on the shot clock. Dribble drive, right hand, the long kick. Back to Aycock, up with the right, no good, and an offensive rebound by James, and the shot clock violation.
Great defense by Spokane on that drive, on that possession. Didn't give them a good look at all. Did give up the offensive board, but, I mean, they were swinging the ball around. Walla looking for the open shot, looking for that player that was going to break open. Spokane gave them nothing.
Russell checks back in from Molly Webster for the Sasquatch. Guillory with the ball, will hand it off. Now top to Swanek. She'll stop and pop. That one blocked partially. And here come the Warriors. Long lead pass up left hand and blocked again. McEwen thought she had the easy lane. Didn't check the rear view mirror. And it's 21-17 coming the other way.
A couple of 10s playing defense on one another. Swanek blocks one shot. Then the other way, they repay the favor.
Bree King with a horse shot attacking a 1-on-4. Not fearing anyone.
It's like a little runner hook there, wasn't it?
She's got 9.
And here we go.
23-17. Your score and a foul call. 8:04 to go. Here in the second quarter of play, the championship ball game. As McEwen and her lofty free throw percentage head to the free throw line for the second time today, already 1 for 1. First personal foul, or excuse me, first team foul on Spokane. in the quarter. And McEwen does not hit much rim at the free throw line. That is about as dead center as it gets. She's already got 15 points, 23-19. Sasquatch will bring it in. Guillory will hand off. Here's King, a little shake and bake, right hand. Now the long kick out to Russell. They'll find King again. Fighting as Guillory underneath. Has a Warrior on the deck, but misses the bunny. And here come the Warriors.
Boy, that was a free look, too. J.C. Jensen just flat out fell over. Guillory had the open look, just couldn't quite make it.
McEwen in with the right on the dribble drive. She's fouled, will head to the free throw line. That foul will be the second on Shea Swanick, the freshman, tagged for 2 quickies. And back to the line, 3 for 3 so far, is Sierra Jo McEwen, the freshman. Why not make it 4 for 4?
Yeah, and like you mentioned, I think even if you penalized her for hitting the rim, she'd still be a perfect 4 for 4. I don't think it's even touched anything but net so far.
It's all practice. Absolutely every bit of it. There's another one. Same release, same result. 23-21, Walla Walla. Climbing back into it, making it a 2-point Sasquatch lead. King will direct traffic top behind the circles. We'll give it to Guillory. Here's King once again. Asks for the screen. She'll get it. Buries a triple. Off the Heine screen. Takes one dribble to her left. Stop, pop, long range.
Cree King, not a bad player at all. Does a little bit of everything. We've seen her certainly. Ooh, there we go.
Off the double screen. Heading from right to left down the lane goes McEwen. Great play drawn up there by Bobby Hazeltine's team.
J.C. Jensen wasting no time, not even letting me get a moment to get my point in. But, yeah, King doing a little bit of everything so far, whether it's posting up, passing, and certainly a lot of scoring.
Heine, top of the key, looks in. They're trying to find Guillory open underneath, well guarded by Skidmore. She'll spin in on the right, and off the mark it goes. Right back to Heine, offensive rebound, left hand, count it.
I guess Guillory gets an assist on that, right? It wasn't a true pass, but she recognized she wasn't going to be able to grab the ball. Just bats it right to Heine. Easy layup.
Well, we talked earlier in the open about how important the rebounding differential is between these two teams, mattering the difference between wins and losses in the 2 times the teams met in the regular season. And so far, the rebound battle has been, I think, Spokane, but because they've been shooting so well, you haven't seen a lot of rebounds.
Very true. I mean, that's just it. It's a matter of not only winning the rebounding total, but getting those offensive boards, and there haven't been a lot yet.
28-23, the 5-point Sasquatch lead. Here's Moscrip. Out top to Guillory. Now to King. They'll find Heine down low, being guarded by James. Now a kick. Moscrip thought about it, pulled back. 6 to shoot. She loses the handle for a second. Here's King. She'll have to fire it up. Can she hit rim? Yes. But it'll still be a turnover off the rim. Actually a rebound. They won't credit it a turnover. Same result. And a quick shot the other way. King on the lead in transition. Right hand, easy bucket to make it a 30-23 advantage. Sasquatch slowly pulling away.
Yeah, beautiful pass by Kirsten Russell. Looked up, immediately saw King and put that ball in a perfect spot. Easy bucket.
5:11 remaining in the half in the championship ball game. Right to McEwen. Another design play, but McEwen perhaps felt the double team.
Very uncharacteristic. We haven't seen very much of that yet from McEwen. She's been pretty much flawless so far. I think she'd like to have that one over again.
Here's Moscrip to Guillory. They'll find King coming around a double screen and buries another triple. Bree King, the 3rd time from downtown. She's sniping out there.
19 points for King, matching McEwen now. They both have 19s, and boy, Bree King, we've seen her make trick shots. When you give her a wide open look, she's not missing that one.
We've got a timeout on the floor as you see Bobby Hazeltine having a word about the hard screen along the baseline. We'll talk about that when we come back. Another break, we'll step away. The 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Championship. The Sasquatch on top of the Warriors by 10.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a guard.
Fans, be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedule, score, stats, the standings, the brackets, everything you need to know on nwacsports.org. You see Spokane bench, and they come out with a little jump, a little pep in their step.
Yeah, so far this quarter, they have outshot Western Washington. Walla 5 out of 10. They're 50% shooting. Walla now 2 for 8 after that basket, so 25%. Biggest difference right now in the quarter is who's making the baskets, who's not.
Well, and you also talk about the number of possessions. You've got 10 more shots up for Spokane, so at least 3 more possessions. As you saw on the other end, Sierra Jo McEwen with the bucket on the easy left-hand side. She doesn't really feature one or the other. A long 3, almost a fall away. King looked like she left early, was on their way backpedaling. She thought she had that one down before it even left her hand.
I think that's just because Bree King's so used to making baskets, she thinks she makes everything, and pretty darn much is right most of the time.
King with the 8-point lead and a block call. The whistle, J.C. Jensen, much to the dismay of the Walla Walla faithful here at Everett Community College. A tough call as King went barreling into a double team. Hard to see if she was set from our position. Yeah, and that'll be the first personal foul on Jensen.
We saw Hazeltine not very happy going to the quarter break when she thought Jensen got checked into the ground on the screen. Now she's really not happy. I think she's feeling like her players are getting shoved around a little bit.
Hillary with a hand in her face still buries it. Cheyenne James was playing outstanding defense right there, matching step for step, but it did not matter.
A physical game so far, and Spokane seems to be kind of getting the better of them. Every once in a while we look up and we see 1 or 2 Walla Walla players on the ground, and if the refs are going to let them play that way, they've got to get a little bit tougher and make sure that they can handle it.
Back to a 10-point advantage for Spokane, and a rare turnover for Walla Walla. It's been a fairly clean game, both in the foul category and the turnovers, which is what you'd expect out of championship basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we just talked about the physicality. There's only 7 fouls total, and we're almost, getting close to halftime right now. So it has been clean. The referee's doing a nice job of letting them play, and it's what you want in a championship.
There's the little spin, a little dance step by Kirsten Russell in the middle of the key, and the sophomore has it knocked out of bounds. Spokane will get the basketball back underneath their own hoop. 35-25, 3 minutes to play. Pump fake from Webster. Now back to King. Man-to-man pressure by Jensen. She draws a tough ticket. And now Moskrip with their left hand. Left that one short. And it's McEwen with the rebound.
Had the right idea, just didn't put quite enough on that shot. But great job for her to get into the lane like that.
Walla Walla needing a bucket here before the half. They'd like to cut it at least to single digits. And there's a huge bump by King off Jensen as she comes around the screen and picks up the rock. Top of the key. They'll get it into James, who'll spin in off the back iron. No good. Rebound is Russell, and a tussle underneath will be a tie-up. And with the alternating possession, go back to Spokane.
Yeah, the last thing that Walla Walla needed there was to get tied up and to give the ball back over. Already down by 10. We just talked about it a few minutes ago. In each of the victories for both teams, they had a huge first or second quarter. Spokane really taking it to Walla Walla right now. They need to get an answer before the half. They don't want to go into the half with a double-digit deficit.
Heine checks in for Webster for the Sasquatch. Russell, now the backdoor handoff into a triple team. It's King with the motor on. Heading in, left-hand baseline will be fouled, and back to the free throw line.
Just like the way she drives, too. I mean, we look at the three-point shooting and look at the outside pop that she has, but knowing that she can get into the lane like that, knowing that she can work the baseline, but then she utilizes her body so well to draw the contact, knowing that, hey, I've got you moving, I've got you in transition. You don't really have your place on the floor. I'm just going to run into you, and you know what? I like getting the 2s and 3s, but I'll take the free throws as well.
An 81% shooter from the free throw line. That's another one of these players you love to have on the stripe in a championship atmosphere. Ice cold water through those veins at the line. And a 12-point advantage, 37-25 at the 2-minute warning here of the first half. Back to McEwen. Dribble drive left to right. King will swipe the rebound clear and off on the races past the timeline into that man-to-man pressure to J.C. Jensen. Guillory to Moscript. Stops and pops straight away. Can't quite get it to fall. Skidmore quiet so far as Jade Skidmore has the rebounds, but we have not heard much from her in the scoring column. She's usually a big contributor on this Warrior offense. Back to McEwen. And bumped a bit. A runner will fall off Guillory.
Those shots that were going for McEwen in the first quarter, not finding their mark in the second right now, and I've got to think that she's getting a little frustrated. We'll see if she keeps shooting or if maybe she perhaps loses a little confidence. She's a shooter. She's been through this before, but certainly needs to find that mark pretty quick here.
She's got 2 field goals, McEwen. Of her 8 points in the quarter, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, but not really getting the foul calls that she got at the beginning of the quarter. And again, you see Bobby Hazeltine talking things over, having a bit of a discussion with the officials there. Long lead pass will come into Moscript. She'll dribble in. Got a very nice screen. Takes it to the right, but can't hit the easy. And a foul call in frustration coming out.
And I don't think it was a foul. I think Moscript had gone out of bounds, and as she was coming back in, her body was still half on one side of the line, half on the other. Reached in, got the ball, and easy turnover to Walla Walla.
Indeed. No referee marched to the bench, so you are right. A turnover. With under a minute to play in the first half, still the 12-point Spokane lead, and there's the foul. And there is Jade Skidmore. We talked about how much she has to contribute for the Warriors to be successful, averaging 12 points, almost 10 rebounds a game, 4 assists on the regular season, and her tournament averages are about the same. And the first free throw off the mark.
And you mentioned she averages 12 points per game. That is number 2 on the team. The number 3 scorer averages 8 points per game. So really for them to have their number 2 scorer not get her first point until under a minute to go in the first half, not an ideal situation for Walla Walla.
King will come between the circles and get it into Guillory. And she'll dribble to the left, now spin right off the glass, is fouled. A drop step in the middle of the key. Drew the defender into the body and count the score. And the lead blossoming for the Sasquatch, 39-26.
Yeah, that's their largest lead of the night. And like you mentioned, just a gorgeous move for Guillory. First, the spin move, I mean, to get the player off of her balance to begin with, and then to go up there and to draw the contact and make the basket. That's a dagger right there for this half.
Fans, if you're looking for a challenge, push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. Be trained in many of 150 career fields, and you could even earn money for college to qualify. Visit your local Army recruiter. Log on to GoArmy.com. Guillory with the 3-point play. And Walla Walla hanging on. They would love a basket here with about a 2-second differential between game and shot clock. Long 3 off the mark by McEwen. And here come the Sasquatch one more time. They got 12 seconds, plenty of time to set up a play and increase this lead before the half. Russell, top of the key, long 3, down it goes. Webster has already hit 1 in the first quarter, and then the dagger at the half with her second. 43-26, an explosive second quarter out of the Spokane Sasquatch. And we'll step away at the half. 43-26. You're watching championship basketball, the 2017 NWAC Women's Championship on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network.
interested in learning about a career in criminal justice? Big Bend Community College has 2 degree options. One will prepare you for transfer to a university, and the other will teach you the basic skills many employers are looking for in entry-level applicants. Many graduates have started exciting careers in law enforcement, corrections, and forensics. Students gain experience and networking opportunities through hands-on training with local law enforcement. Local officers, attorneys, and judges visit classes to share expertise, actively recruit, or help with fun campus activities like our mock trial and crash simulation. Students tour local prisons, visit courts and law enforcement agencies to see how criminal justice works in our area. We offer classes in a variety of formats to provide flexibility for students, and our advisors will help you along the way to meet your specific academic goals. Come see if a career in criminal justice is right for you. Big hopes, big dreams, big successes at Big Bend Community College.
This is my classroom. These are my school supplies. This is my laboratory. These are my assignments. This is my study group. This is my career. Apply and enroll now to the NIC Pharmacy Technology Program. North Idaho College. Start here, go anywhere.
People often ask, what is it you do? I'm an Idaho Army National Guard soldier. But then again, it's not that simple. You see, I'm more than a weekend warrior. It's a continuous effort every day. Yeah, there's extremely long hours, but it's worth it. I love my job. It's like anything else. My profession is whatever I want to make of it. I get to do the incredible things most people dream of. The men and women I serve with are dedicated to being a premier force. It's amazing when you see my entire unit work together. When push comes to shove and we receive that order, we put steel on target. I'm always ready to be called upon to serve our nation. But in the meantime, I train.
Present! Oh!
I serve and protect my neighbors while defending their right to freedom. I'm an Idaho community asset that stands among our citizens. The boundaries I once thought I had are continuously tested and broadened. So there you have it. People will not always know who I am or what I do. But that's alright, because I do.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
The commercial pilot program at Big Bend teaches students to fly and gives them the ratings and certificates necessary to work as a commercial pilot. Many of our students come to the commercial pilot program with little or even no aviation experience. They'll start flying an aircraft on day 2, and they progress through training with an instructor to flying the aircraft by themselves, traveling to other airports throughout the Northwest, and they get to learn to fly in a variety of different aircraft. Our students are all scheduled to fly twice a week at a minimum, and they will attend aviation ground school courses that are taught here on campus by the same instructors they fly with. The program operates 23 aircraft, mostly single-engine trainers. We also have multi-engine aircraft, as well as a float plane and a tailwheel aircraft. Moses Lake offers great weather for aviation and for training, with 5 runways at the airport, 13 approaches, a tower, and radar control. Our students also have the opportunity to operate in airspace that includes Boeing jets, the military, and lots of other flight training and testing activities.
At NIC, we believe in investing in our future, one built with dedicated, skilled, and hardworking people. And with the new career and technical education facility at North Idaho College, the future is bright. Today's students are tomorrow's workforce, and North Idaho College's career and technical education program will provide the training that will get you the job. Together, let's build the future. North Idaho College. Start here, go anywhere.
I'm Mike Marzetta from Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye Robotics is a hands-on STEM education experience. We teach the teachers how to implement the curriculum in the lab, and 90% of it is them building, programming, inventing. We want the kids to come home from school and go, wow, I did the coolest thing today, and they're thinking I'm having too much fun and I can't put this dang project down. When STCU supports learning, they're supporting our future. What's a better place to help the greater good than helping kids? I'm Mike Marzetta, and STCU is here for good.
My game's developed 100% since I've been here in the Bay Area. Getting to the NBA is a major accomplishment, but surviving in the NBA is a totally new challenge. The way that I see the game now is all because of the experiences I've had in the last 7 years. It's all been an amazing journey.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
Let's see, I graduated from high school in 2008, went to UW for a year, came back to Spokane. You know, graduated, wasn't really sure what I was going to do, so I headed to Spokane Falls. I feel like the energy in Spokane is evolving. Having a good, accessible college right here in town is a really important part of that. So I just started working at Helvetica, which is a local design firm. The Falls definitely prepared me for getting a good job right out of college.
My name is Morgan Lynch. This is my college, my community.
You're watching STSDN!
Are you interested in learning about a career in criminal justice? Big Bend Community College has 2 degree options. One will prepare you for transfer to a university, and the other will teach you the basic skills many employers are looking for in entry-level applicants. Many graduates have started exciting careers in law enforcement, corrections, and forensics. Students gain experience and networking opportunities through hands-on training with local law enforcement. Local officers, attorneys, and judges visit classes to share expertise, actively recruit, or help with fun campus activities like our mock trial and crash simulation. Students tour local prisons, visit courts and law enforcement agencies to see how criminal justice works in our area. We offer classes in a variety of formats to provide flexibility for our students, and our advisors will help you along the way to meet your specific academic goals. Come see if a career in criminal justice is right for you. Big hopes, big dreams, big successes at Big Bend Community College.
We are at the half here at the Walt Price Fitness Center, Everett Community College. Beautiful facility, a beautiful day after a soggy one yesterday. Both teams enjoying some sunshine walking into the facility today. And it's Spokane enjoying the 43-26 lead in the championship ball game. Walla Walla, they'll have to make some adjustments. And we'll see what Bobby Hazeltine has drawn up for her squad as they come back and start warm-ups. And Steve, you got the stat sheet. Let us have some info here.
Yeah, I think if Bobby Hazeltine is talking to her players, the first place it starts is, and hey, it starts with every team that plays Spokane, right? Bree King, she's pretty good. You might want to try to stop her.
She's decent.
Yeah, 21 points in the first half, 8 for 14 shooting. She's got five rebounds also to go along with those 21 points. She's been on fire so far, but really the storyline has been the shooting. I mean, we talked about it earlier, and when we start to look at the shooting right now, 46% or 46.9% for Spokane. You've got 28.6% for Walla Walla. And it's almost the score on the scoreboard as well. Your shooting percentage is almost the equivalent to how many points you have total, and that's the difference in this game right now. Spokane is making their baskets. Walla Walla is not making as many. And then we also talked earlier about the rebound totals. The first two matchups this year, the team that won the rebound battle won the game. So far, Spokane with a 23-17 advantage.
+6.
Even if they didn't have the +6 right now, they'd still probably be ahead. But if you're Walla Walla and you're not going to make the baskets, at least hit the boards, and they're not even doing that right now. So right now, Spokane in control. If something doesn't change pretty quickly, this game could get out of hand very fast here in the third quarter.
A couple of things I noticed on the stat sheet, just in the quarter, because it was a pretty decent game, 21-17 after one quarter of play. But and just in the second quarter, went on 8 of 18 shooting. And Walla Walla 2 of 13. So, yeah, Walla Walla only able to put together 2 field goals. That all their points came from free throws for the most part, and the only 2 field goals there in that second quarter came from McEwen on her 21 points. And another thing I like to mention is that on the 15 field goals that Spokane had, 11 assists.
Absolutely, that's huge. I mean, the assist battle right now is 11-4, and you look at it, Swanek, we talked about her a few times in the first half, 5 assists. You've got 4 from Russell. That's 9 of your 11 right there, playing outstanding. And we're just about ready for action here at the Swinomish Casino and Lodge. They include 19 luxury rooms overlooking Padilla Bay and the San Juan Islands. Dine at 13 Moons Restaurant, which features flavors of hand-cut altar wood, grilled seafood, meats, and the freshest flavors of the Northwest. Play over 800 of the latest slot titles and table games, including blackjack, craps, roulette, and pai gow. For more information on events and promotions, please visit SwinomishCasinoandLodge.com.
And back to action, a very tough ending for Kate Ferenz as she was working hard down on that left-hand block. Came up empty in the first possession for the Warriors. And that one over in the back call as Bree King gets half the body over and then comes back. It'll go back to Walla Walla, second possession. So only 3 turnovers in the first half combined between these two teams, and already 1 for Spokane in their first possession.
Yeah, that's quite the number in itself. I mean, normally if you see it one team at 3, you'd think, hey, that's pretty impressive. But you're absolutely right. 2 turnovers for Walla Walla, 1 for Spokane. If you would have told the coach for Walla Walla or the coaching staff for Walla Walla, you're only going to have 2 turnovers in the entire first half, you'd like your chances. But right now, with Spokane shooting,
McEwen handcuffed as she headed down the right-hand lane is fouled. And the first foul will be the 3rd on Caitlin Ward. And that's a big body that has to check out really early here in the second half of play. First team foul on Spokane, so no free throws, and McEwen was not shooting, and a reverse lay-in. That was a great pass from Skidmore as McEwen able to convert the reverse. And you're going to have to get a lot more of that. And it can't just be McEwen on the offensive scoring. You've got to have to involve some other players.
No, she's got 23 out of their 28 points. And at some point, if you're Spokane, if you realize that nobody else from Walla Walla is scoring, start doubling and triple teaming her and force them to try to beat you.
All right, Heine with the easy right-hander. And back to a 45-28 lead. Matching baskets here in the second half. So far, third quarter, McEwen long range, back iron, and it's Skidmore with the rebound. Finally getting after it, getting active on the glass. Walla Walla might have had that rebounding total put in their heads at halftime. And a foul call is McEwen. No, a travel.
Skidmore's been averaging over 8 rebounds per game during this tournament, so certainly she's somebody that they need to crash those boards. It's imperative right now with them down by 17. She had 3 in the first half, so she's certainly doing the job, but she's going to have to get a little more active even at that to keep this game close.
Full court pressure by Walla Walla, and Spokane cannot deal.
Maybe a chink in the armor finally if Walla Walla is discovering that, hey, we can force them into a few turnovers here, get right back into this game.
Already more turnovers in the second half, and the young second half than Spokane had the entire first half.
I think we jinxed them when we read the score sheet.
May have. Double team, King and Heine go to work on Hancock, and a tie-up between Hancock and Heine, and the ball back to Walla Walla. Well, we'll stay with Walla Walla. 45-28. Both teams kind of prodding at each other a little bit here in the early goings of the second half.
That was great defense by King, coming in from the backside to give Heine a little bit of a hand. She never even saw her coming.
McEwen with a lot of daylight along the left baseline. An easy runner, and 25 points for the freshman, already over her tournament average. King, a stop and pop, downtown 3. And just as Walla Walla thinks they've got a little life, Bree King says,
49 points combined between those two, and we've barely even gotten into the third quarter.
Do we get a chance at another tournament record? We'll see.
Or two. 2 tournament records, why not, right? We've already got Bree King with 46.
46 is the number to beat. And that foul charged to Guillory, her first personal foul as she hits the deck. Walla Walla will inbound and inside their own area, right in front of their own bench. Out top to Ferenz. She'll stop and pop left elbow. It is fouled. Contact by Guillory. Immediately picks up her second foul here in the half, second for the ball game. And that will send Ferenz to the free throw line. A 73% free throw shooter, the 5'10 sophomore out of Wahai. Takes a couple of dribbles and an easy stroke. First points out of Ferenz, and that's a little bizarre, averaging 8.6 for the tournament. And you've got to go all the way back to 2010. Anna Marchbanks from Yakima Valley, the previous record holder in a single game before the gal with the ball there, Bree King, eclipsed it with 46. Great tournament. I love the format here with the single elimination as Heine can't deliver. Falls to the deck, and a 3-on-3 break. Let's see what Skidmore chooses to do. She'll attack, back to Ferenz, left hand, now to right hand dribble drive in the lane. Off the back iron, just missed. Is fouled, and back to the line.
You know, we talked in the second quarter about how Walla Walla really needed to get Skidmore back on her game, about how they need her scoring. Ferenz is the number 3 scorer on this team. So between Ferenz and Skidmore, you're number 2 and 3 scorers on the season. And now that Ferenz hits that free throw to give her 3 for the game, those two have combined for 4 points thus far. They need to get a lot more than that. And hey, guess what? It's Everett CC trivia time, Keith Neely.
Love it.
Why do some of the region's best athletes choose Everett Community College every year? The answer, look around you right now. they get to use this gym. Register now for spring classes at everettcc.edu. And I've got to tell you, all the gyms that we do games in, the Walt Price Student Fitness Center, are one of the top in the entire state, not just in the area.
Well, the tournament directors and the hospitality that we've been shown here on the staff of the STSPN and all through this tournament has been unmatched. It's just been an outstanding experience, and we hope that you can get up here if you aren't able to attend and are watching us all across the NWAC Sports Network. You'll get a chance to enjoy this beautiful facility. Again, the contract through next year, so we'll be here one more time, at least, if not a little further along, if they do sign another contract here.
And the acoustics in this gym as well. When you're in here and it's a full house, when we've seen it during district high school games, they took that into account when they were designing it, and it just is fantastic. Can't think of a better place to hear and watch basketball.
Reddish dribble drive, but it'll be J.C. Jensen who scoops up the rebound, and with an underhand flick, gets on the board with two, 48-36. The 12-point Spokane lead. They've got the leather, left-hand side. Webster looks into Heine, who will back down James off the glass, rattles in and out. Touched every corner of the rim but fell out. And on the move, here comes Skidmore. Partially blocked, no, completely blocked. Says Shea Swanwick, get that out of here. We're coming the other way. Callie Moscrip looks in. Now they'll find Heine. Pump fake. It's Webster. She's hit a few from there. Back to Moscrip. Right to left. Webster, stop and pop, 5 feet, left it short. And Reddish on the rebound, Warriors on the move. Reddish will take it coast to coast, fouled. Callie Moscript wanted the travel and is still arguing her case. And you think Bruce Johnson has an opinion? He thought the same thing. You see the shrug of the shoulders there and is asking the official whether they missed that as a travel. And still down on the deck is Mackenzie Reddish, the 5'6" sophomore out of Roselia. And we've got a brief timeout. Just enough time to give you this reminder that PSG Washington, a proud sponsor of this year's tournament. The PSG team of highly skilled employee benefits consultants is here to guide you forward, making the best decisions for your business and employees. Throughout the Northwest, no other firm can match their unparalleled blend of experience and dedication to customer service. It's PSG Washington. We're not satisfied until you're satisfied. Still attending the Mackenzie Reddish all around the baseline.
And yeah, I was watching that. It's a little bit of a weird motion in that. She went and her body kind of stopped. Her head kept going, and her head, I think, consequently smacked the hardwood a little bit, and she's holding a baggie over her eye right now, and I don't think that's ice. I think she actually might have a little bit of a cut above that right eye.
Well, and they brought the sanitation crew out along the baseline to get the bleach out and wipe up some droplets of blood. So they'll attend to Reddish, and it will be, why not? McEwen will take her place on the free throw line, and when you're shooting 81% and you're perfect 5 for 5 from the line, it's an easy choice. Make that 6 for 6, and I think that is the first time we've seen her hit rim.
I was just noting the same thing, absolutely.
And with a free throw here, we'll cut it back to 10 points and get Walla Walla back close, and it will fall off short, splitting the pair, and her first miss, McEwen.
Did notice a moment ago, one of the teammates went over to talk to Reddish, and she had a little smile on her face, so we're happy to report that she's getting that treated, and I think she's doing just fine right now, but a little scary moment there for a brief second.
Moscrip to Webster, Webster to Swanwick, back to Webster. And a little give and go. They'll finally get it down to Heine. Heine draws the double team. It'll have to be Swanwick who takes it in, 3 to shoot. Can they get it off? Moscrip will finally throw it up off the shoulder, but a shot clock violation and a jazzed up Walla Walla squad.
And the thing you've got to remember right now, too, Walla Walla on a 7-0 run. Their boys basketball team, their men's basketball team is playing right after this, so they've got a bigger crowd here. They've got 2 different teams and twice the crowd in the process, and I think the fans are starting to feel it a little bit.
We will take a step away. It is a 48-37 Spokane lead, the championship ball game. You're watching the NWAC Sports Network.
Aviation warrant officers deal in high-pressure situations, life-saving disaster rescues, delivering soldiers and payloads to critical areas, and engaging enemy targets. Supported by an aviation mechanic team on the ground, guard pilots control the sky.
Welcome to Basketball City, USA.
I use my brain, open lanes to the top of the game. I use my hand on any man that would try to contain me. Use my feet and compete like I need to the death. I use my heart and it'll beat till I breathe my last breath.
Hoop Fest 2017. Don't miss your shot.
Welcome back. An 11-point Spokane lead. We'll see if Walla can get back into this one with the rock. Here's Skidmore. Will go left and right. Up with the left hand. Count it. Jade Skidmore, we talked about the need for her to get more involved, and that's one way to do it. To the free throw line she goes. She's 3 for 4. And a chance at the three-point play after the bucket. Then a chance to cut this back to 8. And before, as we try to undo the discussion over there, the officials will huddle at the table. Walla 14 of 16 from the free throw line before this shot by Jade Skidmore. Spokane perfect 6 for 6, but to the free throw line 10 more times in the ball game. They may be able to get their way back in.
Yeah, and if you can keep doing that, you can also, at some point, start putting Spokane in foul trouble a little bit too, and maybe force their hand to some players they don't want to. They're not a real deep team. Obviously, we're seeing Kings score a lot of the points, and the same 3 or 4 names get called over and over again, and Walla now on a 10-0 run.
And 4 of 7 shooting by Walla here in the third quarter. That's not too shabby either. That'll help you out. As King will dump the ball off. Here is Swanek to Moskrip. Thought about pulling the trigger between the circles, but the Heine shot. Foul call. I believe you'll see Bree King diving in for the foul. Thought she had plenty of room, and they will whistle it instead against Callie Moskrip, her 3rd personal foul. So both Caitlin Ward and Moskrip both with 3 fouls. And the 5th team foul in the quarter on Spokane will send Walla back to the free throw line, and that's early. 4:12 remain in the third, and you're shooting 2 a time.
Yeah, I mean, on average, you've been fouling them once every minute so far, and with 4:12 to go, that could be a lot more free throw attempts coming up.
And they will reverse that call and give the foul to Bree King instead. After they check the official on the replay official Lee Mullen, and I think he got that one right.
I do too. We saw Bree King go to the ground. I didn't even see Moskrip near the ball. There was so much contact in there. I guess you could have called it on a few different players, but I think more than anything, Moskrip had another player ricochet into her. I think King was the one that initiated the contact.
Heine will take a seat for the Sasquatch, and Skidmore, after missing the first, will settle one slowly around the rim and in. She's 5 for 7 from the free throw line, about her 70% average for the season. And here is King into the double team, right at the trap inside the line, and a timeout as Bruce Johnson preserves the opportunity to keep the basketball. A heads-up play, and he wants to talk about driving into a trap.
Bruce Johnson's been coaching for 32 years at this level. It's not his first rodeo, and he knew exactly what he needed to do. And consequently, saved not only a turnover, but a chance for Walla to get this within a 5 or 4 point game.
Walla working their way back into this one, only down 7. We'll take a break on STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network. 4:01 to play, third quarter.
Let's see, I graduated from high school in 2008, went to UW for a year, came back to Spokane. You know, graduated, wasn't really sure what I was gonna do, so I headed to Spokane Falls. I feel like the energy in Spokane is evolving. Having a good, accessible college right here in town is a really important part of that. So I just started working at Helvetica, which is a local design firm. The Falls definitely prepared me for getting a good job right out of college.
My name is Morgan Lynch. This is my college, my community.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
.401 third quarter, and after the Spokane timeout, they'll have the ball. Spokane in white, Walla Walla the black and gold. Keith Neely, Steve Willits on STSPN and the NWAC Sports Network. A foul on the floor as Caitlin Ward back into the game. And they need her 10-9 and almost 10 rebounds a game. Saddled with 4 fouls, she's sat large minutes here in the third quarter. King against man-to-man pressure from J.C. Jensen. Underneath to Ward, and that's an easy one. And that's why she's in the ball game. You got to keep her on the floor, though. Caitlin Ward, 4 points on the afternoon.
Yeah, never a bigger 2 points right there, breaking that 11-0 run that Walla Walla had.
Walla Walla against man-to-man. I don't think either team has employed zone defense at any point in the contest today. Long kick, it goes to Jensen. And Jensen drops it. An answer for an answer. And J.C. Jensen, the sophomore, not a lot of play time, even though she's a starter in the tournament. Comes up huge and cuts it to 6. Russell to Guillory, to King. Gets the screen, the stop from the right elbow. Left that one short and hustling after the rebound. A great job of blocking out by Jensen on the other end. Here's McEwen, hesitation dribble, look for the reverse. Now a little no look and a advantage if it can, somebody's got to win the foot race. And they both tackle one another along the baseline.
Yeah, unfortunately, in this case, the foot race may have cost them the ball as Bree was the one that got down there the quickest, but she also was the one that hit it out of bounds. Oh,
they will give it back to Spokane.
Oh, here we go. Okay, they did in fact get it.
The foot race between Green and Skidmore.
I like
stride for stride.
Kirsten Russell, knowing she wasn't going to be able to come up with it, just batted the ball towards her own basket. Wise move, gave her team an opportunity to possibly get a score, and now here they are with the possession.
Guillory can't get the turnaround to fall, and Walla Walla with a chance to cut it to at least 4 if they can get a field goal here. Hesitation is McEwen. It's Skidmore. Out top to James. They'll swing it around back to Skidmore and tipped away. Hustling after it is Jensen in the corner. King will not pursue. Hesitation dribble, now the wraparound. Stop, had King on the fly and a foul call. They will get Caitlin Ward for number 4.
And I like the play by Jensen there. You mentioned the wraparound. I mean, going behind her back, getting King off balance a little bit, cutting it back into the lane. Didn't get the bucket, but does come away with a foul.
And a big foul that is, as the 6-foot sophomore from Priest River will have to exit with 4 fouls. And indeed, Mosgrit back in, and Heine for the Sasquatch. Jensen, a 40% free throw shooter on the regular season. Offensive rebound and putback. It hangs on the rim for a moment. And then Cheyenne James chalks up point number 6. She scored in every quarter.
If you're going to be a 40% free throw shooter and only make 1 out of 2, miss the second one, and that's exactly what she did. They get the offensive board, make it a 3-point play. Why not?
And J.C. Jensen's been instrumental here in the quarter with 6 points, but very good defense on Bree King. And now they'll switch up McEwen on King. Long 3, back iron, hustling after it is Perales. into the ball game. The 5'8" freshman from Hayburn, Idaho. Getting some quality minutes. And the double screen, it's Skidmore off the glass. No, and another offensive rebound. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Here comes King. Stop at the free throw line. No. It hit the front iron, and it looked like it had enough to continue. I thought she was going to get the bucket.
King trying to do it all there. I mean, she didn't get the rebound on the one side of the floor, steals the ball away from the post player, runs all the way down there, gets the look she wanted. It just couldn't quite get into the basket, couldn't quite crawl over the rim.
Ferenz checks in for Perales, who had some great hustle off the bench in limited minutes. And Skidmore, who picked up her dribble early into possessions and under some duress yesterday versus Skagit Valley, doing a very good job here to keep the ball alive at a tie-up on the floor. It'll go back to Spokane.
And once again, the hustle play going to J.C. Jensen. We're seeing her do a little bit of everything in this third quarter. They don't get the ball, but they do, in fact, get the arrow to flip over for the next possession. That ball was going to probably end up with Spokane either way, so the fact that you were able to at least change that arrow over on the scoreboard, nice play for Jensen.
We got ourselves a three-point ball game, folks. Championship basketball here at Everett Community College. It's been a long 2 weeks, 28 teams, 28 games between the men and the women already in the books. And Walla Walla looking to make a statement. Great thread of the needle pass, but it's McEwen that can't find the basket. And another hustle play. They say Walla Walla will get it back.
Take a look at the benches right now. Look at Walla Walla. Every one of their players standing up cheering. You look at Spokane. It's a somber look right now. One of these teams is on a 17-2 run, and you're seeing it with the body language right now. They've got momentum. They've got energy. Spokane's in a lot of trouble right now.
And they should have one possession and a last-second shot with only 12.5 seconds remaining. They get the ball to McEwen, quickly reverses her dribble, leaves it short. Perhaps a little too early in the possession. An offensive rebound, a steal. And Kate Ferenz makes it a 1-point Spokane lead. Holy smoke. What a quarter for Walla Walla.
What a quarter indeed. 19-2 run to end the quarter. When you look at the total points for the quarter, it was a 23-7 third period. And all of a sudden, this game that looked like it was just a matter of time before Spokane was going to get their trophy, Walla Walla has something different to say about that.
Hang on, we got one more quarter to play. The 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Championship. 10 more minutes to play the final stanza on STSPN.com and NWAC Sports Network.
You know you need a getaway when your laundry pile is bigger than the last mountain you biked. It's time. Go Oak Ridge, the mountain bike capital of the Northwest, where you'll find miles of single track without lots of people. After your downhill ride, swap stories and battle scars over a pint, then stay and play another day. To plan your getaway, go to EugeneCascadesCoast.org/go. It's time. Go Oak Ridge.
Walla Walla's shooting woes definitely erased in the third quarter. 7 of 14, a 50% clip from the field, to 3 of 12 shooting, or 25% for Spokane. Those 3 field goals, only 7 points. They did not attempt a free throw, the Spokane Sasquatch, in that third quarter.
Yeah, not a great way to win ball games. I mean, if you have an 18-point lead, and it was almost like they went into conservative mode way too early. We'll see if they can get some of that back now in the fourth.
A 1-point Spokane lead and a turnaround jump shot, and Cheyenne James gives the lead back to Walla Walla. And that's the first time that Walla Walla has had the lead since the early first.
And the thing you're starting to note here too a little bit, when Walla Walla was down, McEwen had 23 of their 28 points. In their last 23 points, she's only had 3 of them. They're starting to play more team basketball, and it's showing on the scoreboard right now.
Swanek draws nothing but atmosphere, and coming the other way after the air ball. Stop And pop for James. No, she'll dribble it back out and find McEwen on a beautiful cut down the lane. And the lead to 3. Walla Walla roaring back.
Ferencz one time down getting the basket, this time finding your teammate. Again, it just goes back to team concept, good fundamental basketball, 3-point lead.
It's Moscrip. They'll get it to King, dumps it to Heine, one bouncing up in traffic, and that'll silence this Walla Walla crowd for a moment.
I believe we've got ourselves a ball game here, Keith Neely.
1 point, Walla Walla, 53-52 lead. And they'll do it. Back against man-to-man pressure, dump it again into James. Do they have the answer? She thought she got fouled, is slapping her wrist and showing the referee. Nonetheless, Bree King will dribble up into half court. Over to Swanek, top to Guillory. Now to King, being guarded heavily by Jensen. Moscrip again, taking all the time on the clock. They're trying to find one of the bigs underneath. 10 to shoot. Swanek into the lane. Heine with the 12-footer, rattles around, kisses the glass, and falls in. She's got 4 in 2 possessions. And the lead back to Spokane.
Not only 4, but getting it done multiple ways. I mean, 2-footer using the backboard the first time, and then this time she pops it from 10 feet out, showing that she's got some versatility.
Skidmore will elevate. Left hand and count it. She knew she wanted to attack the minute she got the ball.
Nice underhand layup for Skidmore, and again, we talked about it before. They need to get her going here, and no better time than the fourth quarter.
Another lead change. Make that number 5 on the day, and 3 in the last little bit here. King asks for a screen. Will get one from Heine. That won't fall. King got her legs under her. That's a shot that normally goes down. And here comes McEwen hustling the other direction. We'll find Ferencz. Ferencz guarded by Guillory. Turn around, it's James. And James averaging 7-3 here in the tournament with 3 rebounds has come alive in the championship matchup.
She just looks confident when she has that ball right now, too. Double teamed, makes her post move, turns around, pops it, says, I don't care that your hand's in my face, I'm going to make this basket.
An ankle breaker, and will it go? No.
That's kind of Spokane's second half in a microcosm right there, though. I mean, everything that could fall in the first half was, and now James feels like she can't even buy a basket.
Jade Skidmore picks up her 3rd personal foul, and Bree King will go to the free throw line. Has only been there 1 time today. She's perfect, 3 for 3 after that. And Spokane trying to get back into this one, get that lead back and cut it to 1 with a King free throw.
King now with 25 points on the game. Seemed like she was stuck on 24 for an awfully long time.
And give her 26 after a pair of made free throws. She's averaging 29 and the full court pressure. McEwen says, I want the rock. She's got King guarding. Now to Skidmore. Left-hand side to Jensen. She'll look in, back to Ferencz. Top of the key to Skidmore. Being guarded by Russell. Dribble drive, left hand, step back. The 3 there, no, but they'll give it off to Ferencz. An unlikely shot for her. And King will clear. Long lead pass up to Swanek. Will she take it? No, back to King. Gets the screen, hesitates for a moment, left side, right in front of her own bench. We've got 5:57 to play in the contest. A 1-point Walla Walla lead. And a foul on the floor. Only 12 on the shot clock. As King was heading in, she will go to the free throw line. No, on the floor. The second team foul on Walla Walla.
I think that was a hand check away from the basketball there. And really, the way that they'd been holding them on defense, got the shot clock down to 12. Not the foul that Walla Walla wanted to commit right there.
1-point Walla Walla lead. Here's Heine. Waited for a second. Can't get the shot to fall. An offensive rebound. And they will consult, they being the referees today, Sean Martin, Mike Eichert, Rusty Vineyard. And a foul call. And Walla Walla not happy one bit about that call because it will be the 4th foul on Jade Skidmore. And she will have to take a seat.
And I was about ready to compliment Skidmore for her hustle because it looked as though Caitlin Ward had an easy basket. She was going to get that rebound and go right back up. Skidmore came in there, snuck in. I thought she got all basketball, but she might have gotten a little arm in the process. But nice thought, but in this case, it's costly. It gives her 4 fouls.
Reddish will check in for Skidmore for Walla Walla. Swanek with the rock, top of the key to Ward. They'll swing it left-hand side. It's Bree King. Underneath, one bounce into the double team, and a shot up, fouled. As Ward a bit bailed out as she turned right into a big black wall of Walla Walla jerseys.
Bailed out, but really give her a lot of credit for causing the bailout. She forced her way right towards the basket there. She knew that if she stood her ground, she could draw contact, and now she's going to get 2 free looks at a basket.
Reddish with the foul. That will be the 4th foul on Walla Walla. One more, and Spokane will shoot free throws to the rest of the way. Caitlin Ward, a 70% free throw shooter, already with 1. Looking to make it 2 here with this one, and does. And Spokane back in the lead, 58-57.
Things get interesting now too here a little bit.
Yeah,
they already were. Right? Touche. For so long we were looking at just a clean game with not a lot of fouls, and all of a sudden now both teams starting to look at players with foul trouble, and something they didn't really have to monitor for the first 2.5 quarters of this game now becomes an issue.
Well, is fatigue part of that? You have a half step slower here. You played a lot of tournament basketball.
Well, and you know what? It's not like you have to save anything for tomorrow or the next day, right? I mean, it's all today. It's 5 minutes and 15 seconds away, and somebody's going to be a champion. You can't take those fouls with you, so might as well get after it and see if you can win a ball game.
McEwen, some razzle-dazzle, and a block by Swanek. She'll take it the distance. Coast to coast stops and gives off to Russell. Now to King. Heine working very hard against Kate Ferenz on the block. Wants the rock, won't get it. 16 to shoot. Here's Ward. And a foul call. She'll count the basket and head to the free throw line. A big, big bucket for Kate Ward.
Ward, a player that we've seen start to come alive here a little bit in the 4th quarter, right? She doesn't have a lot of points to show for it, but she's certainly getting some offensive boards, giving her team a chance to win right now.
And we will come back with Caitlin Ward on the free throw line, and a 3-point Spokane lead, 60-57. 4:47 the remaining in this championship matchup between Spokane and Walla Walla. We'll take a break on the 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Championship.
At NIC, we believe in investing in our future, one built with dedicated, skilled, and hardworking people. And with the new career and technical education facility at North Idaho College, the future is bright. Today's students are tomorrow's workforce, and North Idaho College's career and technical education program will provide the training that will get you the job. Together, let's build the future. North Idaho College. Start here, go anywhere.
The Guard has over 50,000 wheeled vehicles in action. The vast fleet of Humvees, troop transports, and fuel tank trucks are always moving soldiers, gear, and equipment around the world, or delivering aid to civilians during domestic emergencies. Transport operators are essential in getting the Guard to where it needs to be.
Olympic College is the place to pursue your dreams on and off the field. With 11 women's and men's athletic teams and numerous academic programs, there is something for everyone at Olympic College. Learn more at olympicccollege.info/athletics. Speaking of athletics, we've got a great athletic event going on right now. Championship on the line at Keith Neely. Spokane now with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, they're doing it at the free throw line, 11-for-11 in the contest. Walla Walla being at the free throw line a lot more often than Spokane, but Spokane is perfect. Walla Walla 17 of 21, shooting 81%, still a very good clip.
So one team's perfect, one team's missed 4 free throws, is that right?
That's what I'm saying.
And it's a 4-point game, so it's come right down to it.
There you go. Here's Heine, short corner jump shot off the mark. It'll be Hancock with the rebound. And Walla Walla trying to get back. They've had the lead two times here in the 4th quarter. And Walla Walla with a couple of big baskets. They'll dump it into Ferenz, draws a double team, and will not get the call. Webster with the rebound for the Sasquatch. Bree King on the move. Under 4 minutes to play. Championship game on the line. Walla Walla, Spokane. What a doozy as Heine will back down left-hand side. No good. Coming up with a rebound again is Hancock. She's had 2 huge stops down there in 2 possessions. Out top it goes. McEwen can light it up, but won't this time. 3 off the mark. And Callie Moscrip will settle into the offense for Spokane, up 4. Top of the key to Swanek. Now King. She has plenty of daylight just inside the arc. It's 2 if it goes, it won't. But Moscrip for the rebound.
That was what you call an ankle breaker right there. King did everything but make the basket. But oh my goodness, the move she put on just to get open there on Jensen.
Webster down the corner to King with a girl in her face. A 3. It doesn't matter who's guarding. Bree King with a step and a triple.
And you talk about getting off the schneid. She only has 2 field goals for the entire half after just being lights out in that first half of this game. King needed that. Her team needed it. Now they've got a 7-point lead.
We're going to stay right here after the 30-second timeout with 2:49 to play in the ball game. Spokane enjoying their largest lead of the quarter by 7. And they've done it at the free throw line, and they've done it underneath the fancy footwork and the long-range shooting of Bree King.
Yeah, and again, it's just been an interesting game. I mean, you see time and time again games where they have runs, each team coming at one, but to see one team go up by 18 and then to lose the lead entirely, and Walla Walla went up by as many as 3 points, and then for Spokane to kind of regain their composure, not get too down on themselves, kind of get that fire lit underneath them, and all of a sudden now that's a 7-point lead. And I mean, we talk about King shooting, but I have to mention it one more time. That's only the second field goal she's had this half. I mean, it's really been a team effort the way that Ward's coming alive. Heine's starting to make some baskets. I mean, it's a fun game to watch right now.
Only 2 field goals, but they've both been from way out. 2 threes and 2 free throws in the quarter and the half for Bree King. Walla Walla with the rock will swing it to McEwen. 3. That'll help in a big way as the 2 stars exchanging long-range threes.
Feels like the first quarter all over again. This is what we saw early.
4-point Sasquatch lead. Spokane will bring it into the half court under man-to-man pressure. Moscrip trying to find Ward will bring it out. King was not open, so they'll go all the way to the left-hand side to Swanek. There's the steal, and how important has been Kirsten Russell on defense for Walla Walla. McEwen, somebody will get the foul. She was able to shake Shea Swanek on the left-hand side, and then the opening drew the foul.
And you just mentioned Russell, too, a minute ago. I mean, we've seen her even when she's not getting a stat into the page here. I mean, just the way she stood up on defense. She's not giving up ground. She's not reaching in when she's forcing the big post players into bad shots. She's been huge this half.
Heine picks up her second personal foul. Certainly no foul trouble. And McEwen, now 19 of 23 is Walla Walla from the free throw line. Only percentage bettered by the perfect 11-11 shooting from Spokane. Some dancing by Swanek to get around a double team, and off the hands of Caitlin Ward will give it back to Walla Walla.
1:48 to go, and they've got a chance to tie or take the lead right now. Walla Walla currently on a 5-0 run.
1 possession ball game, Walla Walla with that possession. Under 2 minutes to play in the championship ball game. Winner hoists the trophy and cuts the nets. Here's McEwen, kick out. Will go to Green. Down underneath to Hancock. Thought about right, went left. King with a rebound. And on the move, she's got numbers. And will take it herself, coast to coast, off the mark, front iron. Wow. King is such a workhorse. Goes all the distance after getting the defensive rebound and can't quite get it to fall on the other end, and congratulations. We'll take a break here on the NWAC Sports Network. Spokane clinging to a 2-point lead. Walla Walla with the leather. We'll come back and finish the final 114.
Welcome to Lewis County, home of the Willapa Hills Trail. Scenic farmland and forested landscapes await you as you cross century-old trestles on the Newaukum and Chehalis rivers with glimpses of Mount Rainier. Bring your horse, walk your dog, or enjoy a bike ride with the family and take part in the annual Ride to Willapa Bicycle Festival. Get outside and unwind. Your adventure awaits along the Willapa Hills Trail in Lewis County.
I may get that one after the game's over. High atop the Walt Price Fitness Center here at Everett Community College, STSPN broadcast of NWAC basketball has come down to a dream final. Steve Willits and Keith Neely high atop, and you look at Walla Walla breaking huddle under the direction of Bobby Hazeltine. They've got the rock, but they're down 2.
They go down by 18. They wipe that out, take the lead. Then they go down by 7. Now they're on a 5-0 run with a chance to either tie or take the lead. Just a lot of resiliency from this Warrior team. They really are Warriors.
McEwen will get the inbound. Passes to Skidmore. Now to Green. Back to McEwen. Gets to Sasquatch in the air. Spins around, up and in. We're tied at 64.
Guess who's got the ball right now?
Goodness gracious. Here's Bree King. Kick to Moskripp. She thought about it. Will bring Skidmore along the baseline out to King. No! And with 42 seconds, here come the Warriors across the timeline. Skidmore with the yo-yo right hand will give way left side to Jensen. Top of the key to Green. Here's Skidmore once again. Looks in on the left-hand side. Top to McEwen. That's who you like to have, the rock. Back to Skidmore. Has 8 to shoot. Stop and pop. Rattles out. Moskripp with a timely rebound will find Bree King, and with 10 seconds to play, we've got a timeout on the floor. Championship basketball comes down to the final 9+ seconds. We'll stay right here, we're told by Todd Elvig, our producer of STSPN, and Steve Willits. You can't ask for anything better from a fan standpoint, from a basketball broadcasting standpoint. You know, both teams are thinking about things in the huddles here. What are they talking about?
As well they should be. I mean, this game almost feels like it's destined to play extra, right? But for Spokane, I mean, how frustrated do you have to be right now? I mean, Bree King misses an open look at a layup, did all the tough stuff and made that look easy. Then she made the easy shot look tough. And then she has the look she wanted along the baseline a minute ago. 8-foot pop, misses it. Boy, I mean, I've got to think that if you are designing a play right now, you're going to go back to number 20, right? Time and time again, she has 29 points tonight. She set the tournament record for 46 points in a game. Or
you decoy.
You decoy her thinking she's going to get a double team. I don't know. I'm of the Hoosiers mindset. You've got a money player. This is where she creates her legacy. I want her to have the ball. So, and how fitting would that be if they could win it on a shot from Bree King, knowing what kind of a tournament she's had thus far?
1 timeout for each bench. Walla Walla with 5 fouls means if they have a foul, Spokane will be shooting 2 free throws. It will be Heine who inbounds the ball to King behind the timeline. 7 to shoot. She'll take it herself against the triple team. Off the mark, Skidmore with the rebound. And we have a foul call or a timeout. It is a timeout. Bobby Hazeltine asking for a timeout, showing she thinks there's 3 seconds left on the clock. If she does get the timeout, you will advance the basketball under 2 minutes to in front of the Walla Walla bench. So as soon as we sort this thing out, she did get the timeout, but how much time they put on the clock, the officials there you see in the foreground of your screen talking about it. And if they add a second's a big thing. When you're starting in front of your own bench, you don't have to make a whole trip up the court 92 feet.
Desperation shot. You could actually run a play right now if you're at to go.
And on the scoreboard, you see 2:10. That is not 2 minutes and 10 seconds. That is 2 minutes, 2 seconds, and a tenth. And that is what they will keep on the board, it looks like, although there's still a huddle in front of the official scorers table. And they are explaining what they think they see. They're at the officials table doing the replay. There's a replay official, that being Lee Mullen. And the explanation, we're hoping to get it here pretty quick. Let's just sort things out again. Spokane has 2 fouls to give, so they may just foul the inbound a couple of hard hacks here to get some more time off the clock.
If you're going to do that, you need to do it very quickly. I mean, how many times have you seen it where somebody goes to try to give a foul? If they were to catch the ball and get off a shot and you reach in too late and they're in the act of shooting, then you put them on the free throw line. So if you're going to do that, make sure you do it the right way.
Another timeout on the floor. This time, Walla is out of timeouts. Spokane still has 1. 5 team fouls on Walla to the 2 of Spokane, and we are tied 64-64 as we wind down the championship ball game in the best possible way.
Yeah. 2 numbers to keep in mind on this particular inbound, 10 and 35. Number 10, McEwen, she has 35 points so far. I've got to think that they might try to get her the ball. She's actually the one inbounding, so we'll see what they can do here.
McEwen will inbound. They'll get it to Skidmore, 2 to shoot. Into McEwen, 3 on the way, off the mark, bonus basketball.
Oh, wait a second, what are they calling here?
McEwen into the bench right in front of her. Do we have a foul call?
Walla looked like they were celebrating momentarily, like they thought maybe that a foul was called.
I thought the official blew the whistle and raised his hand as if the time ran off the clock. We'll take a look at the replay here on STSPN. She did take a tumble, and it looked like Caitlin Ward did tack the top of her wrist as the release was going in, or the release for McEwen let go of the ball. So there was a bit of contact. Was there a foul call?
Oh, they're going to show it one more time here. See if Todd can get it even back a little further for us so we can actually see the contact.
Well, and a bit of a
there
bit of Hollywood after the shot. As they look on the replay, the officials huddle down on the.
And, you know, to be honest there, Keith, I think if it's even close, I think a no call is what they're going to go with. You don't want to decide the NWAC championship on a replay if you're not sure if you see contact or not. Again, she does flip over backwards, but there's a little bit of a flop there. There might have been a little contact, but if it's just incidental or not much, I think they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the defense.
Completely agree. And here we see it again in slow motion. That's Skidmore to McEwen. The shot is up, and yeah, she goes down on her own accord. There's a little bit of contact, but not a whole lot.
And the contact might have been well after the shot was up, too. We see Ward kind of going forward, and then it's almost like there's a second motion, and then we see the flip over backwards by McEwen. So if that's the case, it might have been a little incidental, maybe well after the shot, and they're certainly not going to give her that.
Let's look at it one more time. There is the pass by Skidmore. McEwen with the release. That's Ward with a bit of contact, and then back into the bench. Well, we'll let the referees draw the conclusion here after looking at the replay. They're seeing the same thing that you and I are seeing, Steve.
And Tom Lafferty's right behind us. Now he's getting ready to call the men's game coming up here shortly. Tom, you're thinking there's a 3-shot foul coming up here, right? Now, is Tom calling that because he's ready to get into the action, or do we really think he wants us to watch the elbow here? Now, does that hand go out? Is it during the shot, or is it after, or does it matter?
I'm not sure that's Ward's hand. That might have been one of the bench players that was a celebration. We'll find out. They're still talking things over.
We're going to watch it one more time here in super slow motion.
The shot is good if it counts. So there's no question that the shot was indeed a legitimate shot attempt. And Walla crowd not happy at all. I think we've got our answer. As the Bobby Hazeltine is going over to talk to the officials, and she does not like the answer. So I'm guessing no call. Strangely, they have Ward up on the board for her 5th personal foul.
They've just put time back on the clock. They're saying it wasn't on the shot, it was afterwards. They are going to call her for the arm check, but it was in fact after the shot was up in the air and well towards the basket.
So that is indeed Caitlin Ward's 5th personal foul. She will take a seat.
And as you mentioned, they had 2 fouls to give, non-shooting fouls, so 0.4 seconds left. They're going to get a chance to inbound, but they've got to do something extremely quickly.
It will be Green that inbounds for Walla Walla. And they will give it to McEwen, and we have bonus basketball. Overtime, 64-64 at the end of regulation. Championship basketball continues. 5 more minutes on the clock. We'll take a quick break and be back. You're watching a 64-64 tie at the end of regulation on the NWAC Sports Network. Stick around.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them. Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Fans, if you're looking for a challenge, push yourself further. It begins when you enlist as a soldier in the U.S. Army. Be trained in one of more than 150 career fields, and you could even earn money for college if you qualify. Find out more, visit your local Army recruiter or log on to GoArmy.com. Overtime basketball, 64-64, and everybody starting except Caitlin Ward back on the floor. We'll have to give you who's on the floor. It'll be Heine who jumps center and Bree King who controls for Spokane. And their first possession of overtime. The 2017 trophy on the line at the end of 5 minutes minimum. As King shakes and bakes Jensen to the hole. Back out top to Heine. Now to Moskrip. Moskrip looks in. Has to throw it up. Gets her own rebound. Up off the glass with the right hand. And Callie Moskrip very quiet, but an important 2 points here in overtime.
And they needed that even just for the sake of momentum. They were on a 7-0 run, Walla Walla that is, until Spokane made that basket. So Moskrip really doing a nice job to maybe get Spokane going again here.
J.C. Jensen has it poked clear by King. Gilroy will come back in on offense, replacing Kirsten Russell, the sophomore. And Walla Walla looking to tie this thing up one more time or go ahead with the long-range ball. Here's Skidmore. Still man-to-man pressure on defense for the Sasquatch. McEwen being guarded by Swanek. A left-hand shot, no good, but just like the other end, gets her own rebound and up and in to tie this at 66.
Yeah, nice play by McEwen. Left it short, but she recognized it very quickly. Put herself in position to get the second chance and made the most of it.
Spokane with their second possession of overtime. 3:42 remain. No good on the Swanek attempt on the right lane. Foul. She'll head to the free throw line for 2. That will be against McEwen, her first personal foul, so no real trouble there. But still the 5 team fouls carrying over. She was shooting anyway, so Swanek will get 2 free throws regardless of the foul count in the quarter.
Took her 41 minutes and 20 seconds, but Swanek finally getting into the scorer's column. That doesn't mean she hasn't had a very good game. She's done just about everything but score today.
Yeah, and she's been quarterbacking that offense. She and Bree King really doing a good job of bringing the ball up the court. And a 2-point Sasquatch lead with 3:30 remaining in the overtime period. The winner cuts down the nets, and a foul underneath will go against Bree King. That'll be her second personal foul, and only the 4th team foul on Spokane. Still a foul to give. On the floor.
A little bit of confusion there momentarily. I think Walla, or at least a couple of the players, thought that was foul number 5, and they were going to go to the line, and finally the referees sorted out and let them know, no, they got one more.
Friends will inbound to Skidmore. Skidmore tried to skip a pass through 2 defenders, and a steal. Walla looks to expand on a 2-point advantage. Moscript has Swanek cutting, no. Out to Guillory, now to King. Like to give a shout out to our cohort, Scott Oshman, listening along. We hope you're enjoying the call. We found a good one to dial into.
Yeah, absolutely.
As King heads to the free throw line, that one connects on all the rim before it comes to a stop through the net.
Did Scott Oshman just tune in, or has he been watching the whole time? If he just tuned in, he's missed a heck of a ball game so far. Might have to go back and watch that later. Fortunately, it is available on demand.
2 King free throws. 4-point Sasquatch lead. Skidmore having some trouble against Swanek defense in man-to-man pressure. Into the corner to James now. Back to Ferenz. Ferenz looks in on Guillory. Back to Skidmore. Skidmore dribble drives left side. Drew a lane, but a double team. Out top to Ferenz for 3! Count it!
Ice water in the veins right there for her. Ferenz needed that shot. You're down by 4. You're going to pull up a couple feet behind the 3-point line. You better be sure you've got the right look, and you better be sure you bury it, and she did.
1-point Spokane lead with 2:18 to play. King with a step back. Drew nothing but air. Was it touched by Jensen? Perhaps. The result is the same.
Unbelievable. This Walla team, it's like a cat with 9 lives. You go down by 18, you come back, you take the lead. You go down by 7 with 2.5 minutes to go, you close out regulation on a 7-0 run.
With a chance to win it.
You fall down by 4, you hit a 3, and now you come right back, and you've got a chance to go ahead again. Just the resiliency this team keeps showing. They do not want to go home without that trophy.
McEwen takes it in, handcuffed by King on the right-hand block. That will be King's 3rd foul, and McEwen to the free throw line, where she is 8 of 9 tonight. That's who you want at the stripe. 3 points in the overtime period for McEwen, the freshman out of Touchy.
You can almost see the frustration on King's face, even from way up here. Shots aren't going for her right now. She's picked up a couple fouls here in the last few minutes. She's the star of this team. They need her to do something here in the final 2 minutes of this first overtime.
Walla's first lead in the overtime. Guillory gives to King. Stop and a pop behind the screen. Drew iron and off the mark. Skidmore says, I'll take control and we'll push. McEwen looks over at Coach Hazeltine for instructions. Now will drive in on Moscript. Stopped and popped, left it short. Moscript with the rebound. She'll have to look into traffic and a foul. Free throws coming. Callie Moscript gets up looking at that left elbow. That one didn't tickle as she fell right down on her stomach on the ball. I thought for a moment she might have knocked the wind out of herself. Only the 2nd foul on McEwen for Walla, but the 5th team foul. We're going to shoot bonus free throws on both sides the remainder of the game as Moscript connects. The sophomore from Lewiston High School in Lewiston, Idaho. A big-time free throw in a big-time game, the championship. She hits them both. And a 1-point Spokane lead at the timeout. We're in overtime. 1:30 to play. A 1-point Sasquatch lead over the Warriors of Walla. As you watch Bruce Johnson talk to his squad We'll take a break. You're watching the 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Championship Basketball game on STSPN and the NWAC Sports Network.
My game's developed 100% since I've been here in the Bay Area. Getting to the NBA is a major accomplishment, but surviving in the NBA is a totally new challenge. The way that I see the game now is all because of the experiences I've had in the last 7 years. It's all been an amazing journey.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces.
You look at Bruce Johnson as the huddle breaks, and his Spokane Sasquatch squad a perfect 17 for 17 for the free throw line today, and enjoying a 1-point lead over Walla Walla in the championship game. Skidmore.
17 for 17, and they're ahead by 1. I guess those free throws are kind of important, aren't they?
Well, Walla Walla not too shabby, only missing 3 of 25 shot attempts, 22 of 25. It's what you like to see at any level in a championship game. Here's McEwen with 11 to shoot. Now 9 to Skidmore. Left hand to Ferenz. She'll take it the distance, and a foul on a block call. Bree King to the deck. Ferenz, a 73% free throw shooter, to the free throw line. Ferenz with a giant triple. Possession ago, has 4 points now in the overtime. 72-72 with a chance to go ahead for the second time in the 5-minute overtime period, and does so.
Not only that, but she had 0 at the half, so she has all 11 of her points either in overtime or in the second half.
54 seconds to go. Plenty of time on the shot clock to likely give Walla Walla another possession. Here's Guillory from straight away. Count it. A kiss off the glass, and it goes down, a 2-point lead. Amani Guillory couldn't be more timely. 21 on the game or shot clock, 36 on the game clock. To Skidmore. Looks in on King. Gets the screen. Can't hit the bucket. King off the mitt and out of bounds. It'll go back to Walla Walla. With the shot clock turned off, this possession could come down to 1 shot in the ball game.
And King had the position she wanted for the rebound. She just didn't have the balance and knocked it out of bounds.
28 seconds to play, down 1, and you've got the rock. They'll get it into James. Turns around on Heine, and a collision on the end line.
I think they're calling a foul.
We'll go back to Spokane. J.C. Jensen had the ball as she went along the end line and out of bounds. It looked like we were going to have to take the next ball on the split after all the bodies and pins were lying along the baseline.
The referee stood right over Callie Mosgrip and had his finger pointed right at her, and I thought he was getting ready to call her for a foul. There was so much contact, you couldn't tell, okay, was it incidental? Did they think there was a reach in? But I thought he was getting ready to whistle, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's pointing the other way, and Spokane basketball.
74-73, Spokane with the leather and a 1-point lead with 17.4 seconds on the game clock in overtime. Neither team has a foul to give, both teams with a single timeout, 1 apiece.
And it's almost basketball Murphy's Law, isn't it? We keep talking about how Spokane is perfect at the free throw line. They're 8 for 8. They're 11 for 11. They're 17 for 17. All of a sudden now they've got a 1-point lead, 17.4 seconds to go.
You know a foul is coming.
Unless Walla Walla can get a steal or force a turnover on the inbound, a foul is coming. Are they still perfect when we're talking about this at the end of the game, and does it end up playing into the outcome of this game?
You've got 2 outstanding 3-point shooters on Walla Walla. Sierra Jo McEwen and Teresa Aycock both shooting 33%. with the minimum amount of attempts. Good enough for a tie, both of those for 8th in the NWAC in the regular season. So we'll see if they bring the freshman from DeSales onto the floor.
I mean, McEwen had 81 three-pointers alone just in the regular season, so we certainly know she can shoot it. And Kate Ferenc, I mean, we saw her hit a big one earlier. She might be called upon to make sure that she can maybe give her team a chance to hit another.
Swanick will inbound to Moscrip, who runs into a double team and a foul immediately with 14.1 on the game clock. And the 1-point lead will put Callie Moscrip to the free throw line, where she is perfect 2 for 2 in the game and this overtime. Has 4 points in the overtime and heads to the stripe, shooting 69% from the free throw line.
And that almost got really interesting because the possession arrow right now is pointing in Walla Walla's direction. Moscrip almost got tied up.
And the free throw hits the front iron and settles in for a 2-point Spokane lead. They will take Jensen out. Ferenz back in for Walla Walla. And one more shot. Callie Moscrip to the free throw line. Good. 3-point basketball game. And 11.2 seconds to go. We've got a timeout on the floor.
Or do we? I don't know.
An errant whistle, perhaps, as the whistle definitely blew. Ooh. And you can see Bobby Hazeltine again talking things over, incredulous at not getting the call. And it'll be Bruce Johnson that takes the timeout for Spokane to draw up a defense. We're going to keep it right here on the NWAC Sports Network. You're talking things over in the huddle. Let's start with Bobby Hazeltine. What are you telling your Warriors?
Well, I'm just curious as to what was going on there because she was very upset. I would have thought that she wanted the timeout there unless she didn't have one. I mean, we're looking at the board, and again, during overtime, I know the rules changed a little bit, but she was very upset about something. I thought maybe a timeout was the perfect thing, or perhaps she already had a play drawn up.
Well, there was one timeout apiece on the board, and I think maybe Hazeltine did call timeout. She didn't have one, even though it showed on the board. And instead of saying you're going to give you technicals, they just erased it from the board and took the ball out of bounds.
But yeah, if you're Hazeltine, obviously, like we pointed out, you've got some three-point shooters out there. I don't know if we've got I'm guessing Acock's out there. I don't see her out there. Well,
no,
maybe
I
not.
Don't see her out there.
Obviously, McEwen can hit him. Ferenc, we know, can hit him. They've got a few options here.
Skidmore will take possession. Under 10 to play now, 6. It'll be Ferenc. Tie up underneath, jump ball. 3.6 seconds will go back to Walla Walla, down 3, clinging to the basketball in one last possession.
That was almost a season ender right there as Bree King able to get her hands on that basketball. But Walla Walla, the power of the arrow, we'll see if it helps them here.
Reddish to McEwen, 3 on the way, off the back iron. That's your ball game. Your 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Champion, the Spokane Sasquatch. In overtime, 76-73. What a ball game. Bruce Johnson, his first in a long while for Spokane. We'll take a break, bring back the statistics, and we'll have the interviews from Steve Willits down on the floor with the winning team. Again, Spokane, your champion. We'll be back.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all 4 corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south. And discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all
There is your 2017 NWAC Women's Champions, the Spokane Sasquatch. These two teams, having met twice before, split in a win for Spokane on January 4th, a win for Walla Walla on February 1st, and it came down to overtime in a nail-biter, and the Spokane team taking the victory 76-73. Steve Willits works their way down to have the interview with head coach Bruce Johnson. And first they'll give the second place trophy to the Walla Walla Warriors and Bobby Hazeltine that finished their season 24-5. The East Division's number 2 seed, only to that of the Spokane Sasquatch, and shaking hands with the league director, the executive director of the NWAC, Marco Azurdia, getting their second place trophy, and Mackenzie Reddish, the sophomore, taking the hardware. And the pictures now, you look at the next one in line, along with the bracket that'll be hung in the Spokane Gymnasium. And it's with a lot of hard work that starts early in the season and all the way back in August when you start having open gyms, as you see Bree King along with Madison Johnson accepting the trophies. And what a relief to get through that overtime and hang on. Walla Walla not going away until the final possession, which they had, could not get it to fall. McEwen having a couple of opportunities to win it at the end of regulation on a long three right in front of her bench, and then again at the end of regulation, both falling just short. And it will be Spokane hoisting the NWAC trophy, 2017 NWAC champions. And you see, amidst the smiles, a lot of heavy breathing. You can tell that the ladies from Spokane left it all out onto the court, and it'll be a much shorter bus ride. The 303 miles from Everett back to Spokane will seem a lot shorter than the 285 miles that Walla Walla will have to travel back to the Dietrich Dome in Walla Walla, Washington. And more cheers. I'd like to remind you that coming up after this one, directly after the net cutting and the championship trophy, as they're introduced the remaining Spokane Sasquatch members, we'll have the men's basketball game. Walla Walla able to put two of their teams into championship basketball games. They will play Tacoma. Walla Walla winning 87-73 against Lower Columbia yesterday. Tacoma beating Umpqua 79-74. So you can bet that this Walla Walla team, Callie Mosgrip, Shay Swanwick, Molly Webster, Amani Guillory, Caitlin Wormington, Bree King, Madison Johnson, Kirsten Russell, Geneva Bates, Caitlin Ward, Lauren French, and Janessa Heine will stick around to watch the men play, and all smiles with the photography happening down there. We'll try to get Steve Willits. They get an interview or two after the pomp and circumstance. And we're getting the wave off right now, not quite ready. And we'll begin the net cutting ceremony as Steve wanders over to the bench. You see Bree King giving a big hug to Caitlin Ward. Those two instrumental. Bree King, 2 huge free throws down the stretch in overtime. Caitlin Ward did not score in overtime, but had 5 points in the fourth quarter at the end of the fourth quarter to keep things interesting. As they introduce Guillory. And there's Bree King, your single game points leader in a tournament, 46 2 games ago. And And as we get the individual hardware passed out, we'll get some statistics. 24 of 63 shooting for Spokane. A 38% clip for the game and overtime, so including regulation and the overtime period. A 38% from the field shooting, 8 of 20 from beyond the arc for the Sasquatch, 40%, and a perfect 19 of 19 from the free throw line. How huge was that to get you the win? Mighty. Walla Walla just a little bit under from the field, 23 of 63. Incredible, they both took the same amount of shots from the field. Walla Walla coming up one shot behind, 37% clip. From downtown, 5 of 15 for a 33% from beyond the arc for the Warriors. And free throws, boy, wouldn't you like to get 4 back? That's all they missed, 4. 23 of 27 for 85%. You tell the head coach they're going to shoot 23 of 27 in a championship ball game from the line. They're going to get to the line that many times, and they're going to hit 23. You like your chances. But it was only bettered by the 19 of 19 by Spokane. Holy cow. 76-73 your final. As Spokane enjoying, they'll reminisce over that bracket in front of you. A lot of great basketball. The one that a lot of people thought they weren't going to get was the win over Umpqua yesterday afternoon. The high-flying Umpqua Riverhawks, 85+ for the season and in the tournament per game. Held to under 60 by Spokane, 63-58. And what many called an upset. Spokane turned into a championship against the Walla Walla Warriors.
Can you hear me?
Hey there, Steve Willits. Take it away. Who you got?
All right, thank you, Keith. And I'm going to try to get Bree King here real quick if we could. Here she is. Bree, only 31 points tonight, right? I mean, what a tournament you've had so far. What does it mean for you to come to Everett and get this championship?
It means a lot. I've been here this is my 3rd year, and we were hoping to get it last year, and it didn't work out for us, but it's great. It means a lot.
Tell me a little bit about this Walla Walla team here. They didn't seem to go away. You were up by 18. They came back. You were up by 7 late. They tie it up. Surprised at all? I mean, obviously you played this team a few times.
We've played them before, and the second time we lost to them, so it meant a lot to us because we know we're a good team, and we didn't think we should lose to them. So it was a battle for sure. It was a good battle.
I teased you a minute ago about only having 31, but 46 points against Bellevue. You've averaged around 30 points for the tournament. Dream come true. I mean, obviously you've had big games in the past, but to come into Everett, what is it about this tournament that's brought out the best in you?
I just wanted to help my team the best I could get to the championship, and I did, and we won. It's great.
You ready to cut down that net?
Yes, definitely.
Go to it. Thank you, Bree.
All right, Steve Willits with Bree King. You mentioned it, averaging nearly 30. And, you put this game into the factor with 31, and she'll be exactly at that. 31 points average for 4 games in the tournament. And you can bet that Bree King will be named to a couple of honors. And now we've got Steve Willits with head coach Bruce Johnson.
Bruce Johnson, 32nd year at the helm. What is this moment like right now?
You know, I've been in this game. I think this is the 3rd time, maybe the 4th. I can't remember. But every time I was in this game, we were missing a starter. This time we were healthy, and the girls stayed stuck together. And I'm just so proud of this team because they got along so well.
Well, now tell us about this game a little, because again, you have had to wait a while to get the championship. You've been runner-up, and you've been on the other side of the fence. You're up by 18. Was there a moment there in the 4th quarter where you thought, you got to be kidding me, this is not going to slip away?
Well, we knew the press she runs. She hasn't run it much this year, and we panicked. We panicked even though we practiced against it a little bit, but we hadn't seen it live, and they do a good job. And it slowed us down. It got us out of our rhythm, came down, shot clocks winding down. We just weren't efficient at all. That's a nice job by Bobby. I mean, we knew it was coming. We still couldn't break it. That's kind of sad. That's on the coach.
Well, and the coach is going to cut down a net here, so that's a big thing. Tell us a little bit about Bree King. 21 points at the half. We saw her score 46 last week. What has she meant to this team?
I mean, she did everything. I mean, she had to carry way more of the perimeter load than she should have. She has all year. We've got some other girls don't really have the confidence, obviously, that she has. Should have given us a little bit more offensively, but we relied on Bree and we rode her back, and why not? I mean, the kid's special. The kid is special, especially in the open floor. One of the best open floor players I've seen in my 32 years.
Absolutely. Now, in the second half, she struggled a little bit. This is a team event, though, right? I mean, some of the other players step up. Tell me a little bit about the roles that they played in getting this championship.
Well, we had some girls that hadn't played much all year long come off the bench. I mean, Molly Webster gave us a boost. Imani gave us a boost in the second half. There was 2 or 3 other girls that I thought, helped out. And I don't think we got Bree out of the game. I think she played the whole 40 minutes, which, that's why she got tired. And in the third quarter, she was struggling. She was still getting open shots, but she just couldn't make them. She was so tired.
Yeah, we know the players are tired. How about the coach?
I'm exhausted, man. I'm exhausted from yesterday. Beating Umpqua, Umpqua, in my opinion, has the most physical talent in this tournament. I don't think anybody would disagree. We just happen this year to be the best team. So happy about that.
All right, well, enjoy that trophy, enjoy that banner, and especially enjoy that ride back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Back to you, Keith.
Bruce Johnson probably will get a good night's sleep tonight after the excitement of walking down the court right now to watch his team cut down the net, and I'm hoping he gets a little piece of the souvenir in his pocket before things are over. And he talked about some of the role players. You know about Bree King, you know what she's going to get you, 31 points, but he mentioned Molly Webster, 8 points. She hit 2 huge threes that broke things open for Spokane in that first half. Amani Guillory, how instrumental was the first 2 points of the overtime period that she was able to put down and set the pace for the remaining 5 minutes? And a couple of role players, absolutely. Caitlin Ward putting in a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line, and it was instrumental in that fourth quarter. So yes, a humble Bruce Johnson, as he mentioned a couple of the mistakes he made in this championship outcome, but it takes a healthy team. I talked to a number of folks as you watch the Warriors, or excuse me, the Sasquatch cutting down the remainder here. It's almost going to get wrapped around the trophy in another snip. And I think Bree King may get the final snip of the net. But now here's Steve Willits, and he's got Amani Guillory.
We do have Amani Guillory. Amani, 7 points tonight, but none bigger than that 2 you made in the final minute of overtime. Tell me a little bit about that shot. Had to use a little bit of the rim and the backboard on that one.
Well, I haven't been shooting really well this tournament, and this time I just didn't want to think about it because every time I thought about it, I kind of just missed it. So I just cleared everything out and just let it go.
Now, was that one of those shots where, because again, it wasn't a swish. It kind of bounced around and hit the net. Did it just feel like it took for eternity to go in?
It felt like I was going in when I let it go. And I was honestly, it was just a great feeling.
Tell me about this team a little bit, what this means to do this with this group of girls and the coaching staff. How much fun are you having right now?
I'm having a lot of fun. We worked really hard all season to get to this. Our goal is to get to NWAC and win NWAC, and we finished our goal, and it's honestly a great feeling right now.
Is the trip going to be a lot shorter knowing you got the victory, getting back to Spokane?
Yes.
Okay, go enjoy this, Amani. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
She's having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun just alongside, as you see Bruce Johnson swinging the net around. A very ecstatic Spokane faithful crowd sticking around to take time, sign the shirts, take the pictures with the hardware, get the family out front. And there is that all-important net. You can imagine that will be along the trophy in a trophy case for a long period of time in Spokane. And we're getting the chance to rehang the nets because we've got another championship ball game right around the corner. Steve Willits is still active down there. What do you have for us, Steve?
We've got Caitlin Ward right now. Caitlin, first of all, congratulations. Tell me what it means to hold that trophy that you have in your hands right now.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. It's awesome. We worked so hard, and it shows. It's awesome. Yeah.
Now, I brought you over here because, number one, great defense from you in that whole second half. Tell me a little bit about some of the battles that were going down in the trenches.
Fouls. I got a lot of stupid fouls, so that was my fault. But it was very physical. But we pushed through. It was cool.
One of the more interesting plays I think I've ever seen in a college game, one that almost meant the championship. Tell me about the last play in regulation. What happened? What did you think happened? And what did you think the call was going to be?
When I fouled her, okay, I put my arm on her, and I didn't think she was going to go that far, and she did, and so I thought she was going to shoot her three, free throws, and she didn't, and I was so thankful. And then we went into overtime, and it was awesome.
Now, what was the feeling on the bench? Because it took a while for them to get that call right. How nervous were you?
So nervous, so much anxiety, so stressful.
And it was your fifth foul, so you had to watch the rest of the game from the bench. What's that like, feeling kind of hopeless or helpless at that point, like you can't help your teammates?
It's horrible. It was so horrible. I felt horrible that I left him out there without another big. But Imani came out as a 4, and she knocked him down, so.
Well, and quite frankly, the team doesn't make it into overtime without your play. So congratulations. Great game for you tonight. Great victory, and enjoy that championship.
Thank you.
Caitlin Ward, the sophomore from Priest River, Idaho, all smiles and holding that all-important 2017 NWAC Women's Basketball Championship trophy. As the pictures continue down on the floor, we'll take a break. You're watching STSPN.com and the NWAC Sports Network. And I'm told we're going to take a step away and get ready for the next game, so let's talk about the next game. Tacoma and Walla Walla in the championship, 5:15 p.m. Tom Lafferty will have the call for you. The Walla Walla Warriors, another team in the championship. They will take on Tacoma. We'll hope you'll stick around. Thanks for being a part of our afternoon, the Women's Championship. Spokane Sasquatch, number 3 for them. A 76-73 overtime win at Everett Community College, and the NWAC 2017 trophy hoisted high. For Todd Elvig and the crew, I'm Keith Neely alongside Steve Willits. Thanks for being with us. Stick around. 5:15 NWAC Men's Championship is just around the corner. Tom Lafferty with the call.